Let's talk about tummy time with Quirkyloverosee. I cannot understand. Rosie's a big girl. I do not understand how she lays on her stomach like that. I'm a big girl and I can't lay on my stomach. I can't breathe if I'm on my stomach. But Rosie, when she lays down, you can believe she's on her stomach. And I think part of it has to do is because she likes to get down and be showing all that cleavage. I'm almost certain that's what it is. Remy's not immediately in the stream with her because she says he's finishing up an assignment. He's in his last year of college. So she said, and then of course it's time to eat. So she's going to finish her a leftover sub that she had. She's going to eat that for lunch, and she's complaining about all the mayonnaise on it. She forgot to tell them light mayonnaise, so it's drowning in mayonnaise. So she's just complaining about the mayonnaise on this sandwich. And then, of course, we have to get to talking about Remy or Lee. I call him Remy because that's how she introduced him to us. And that's pretty much all she talks about. But I get it. They've been together since January. That's something she did tell us. Their anniversary is January 18th, but they didn't announce their relationship till March 10th. And she kind of asked Remy if he has anything planned for their anniversary coming up in January. And he said, I don't know, do I? Kind of cringe. So, but it's a new love. That's all she can talk about. So she tells us that one of the ways Remy expresses his love for her is by doing everything for her. He opens her sodies, as she says. And, he deep cleaned the kitchen again. He cleaned the bathroom. He's been taking out the garbage. And she says he likes when she's direct with him and tells him what to do. And she's actually went so far as, I don't know if it's Levi's teaching him or what, but they're teaching this man now how to take care of the pool, how to deal with the filters and all of that and the chemicals and all that in the pool. This poor man has done nothing but work since he has been there with Rosie. It's, can you do me a favor? Can you do me a favor? Can you do me a favor? Put this in the refrigerator. Put this in the sink. Get this out of the freezer. Throw this in the garbage. Take the garbage out. Do this. Do that. Wipe my ass. You know what I'm saying? It's disgusting. She claims that he likes this. No, it comes down to Remy. He doesn't have a spine. He doesn't have a backbone. He doesn't have it in him to just say, look, Rosie, do it for yourself. And it did come out. She says their first argument had to do with something about he wanted her to get healthy. So see, something was said and she didn't like it. And it had to do with her getting healthy. But she's asking, she wants to move around as little as she can. She's sitting in the kitchen, in her chair, scooting around in the kitchen all the time. And she still has to have Remy get everything when it's within arm's reach of her. Can you get that? Can you do me a favor? It's really sick the way she treats Remy, and he's just taking it. That's what's even worse. Then she gets to talking about her disabilities again, and she's pretty sure she has fibromyalgia. But, we have to go into the whole about how she doesn't have insurance, and to be diagnosed with fibromyalgia, everything else has to be ruled out, and she's sure that's where her pain flares are coming from. So we have another self-diagnosis by Miss Rosie. She denies that she does feeder content or mukbangs. She says she's just eating normal portions of food and spending time with us. If those are normal portions of food, I'm Betty Crocker. Let me tell you. So somebody in the chat asks her if she'll make a GoFundMe. Because this is right after all the talk of the fibromyalgia. If she'd make a GoFundMe. So she could, get help to go to these doctors and get a diagnosis finally. And she says, because she says she can't get Medicaid. And I thought, well, why couldn't she get Medicaid? So I did Google it. And in Florida, this is crazy to me. In Florida, usually it says that usually people 19 to 64 without disabilities are ineligible. I think that's kind of crazy. But I would think, I didn't look further into it, I would think they have to have some kind of low-cost insurance for all the people that don't qualify for Medicaid. Wouldn't they have to have some kind of lower-cost income or lower cost insurance for lower income people. I don't know, that she's always complaining about not having any insurance. And people were upset with her because the Amazon Prime, if you remember, she spent well over $100. She had 9 or 11 different sets of press-on nails, dry shampoo, just, things that protein bars, all those drink mixes to put in her water. And people said, well, you're always complaining about the doctor. Why didn't you use that money to go see a doctor instead of spending it on this Prime? And she said that's ableist and classist people saying this. Because just because she stocked up on things she needs, she needed 11 sets of press-on nails? Excuse me? She's just constantly, and she always reminds us she's not going to get married to Remy just for his insurance. She wants so badly for something to be wrong with her, and she wants so badly to go to a doctor, or maybe she doesn't. Because when the girl asked her about this GoFundMe, she says, she would just receive too much heat for that, and it'd just be too much of a hassle having to show where every penny of this went. And she doesn't want to get into, her medical issues like that. So maybe she really doesn't want... She's probably afraid if she goes to a doctor's going to tell her, there ain't nothing wrong with you, but, you do need to lose some weight to get all the pressure off your joints and whatever, and you won't be in so much pain constantly. But I don't know. She claims she's got so much. And then she starts talking about her agoraphobia again, how it gets worse and then it gets better. And she was still crashing out about the insurance, talking about, how she doesn't, and she pretends to start crying, getting choked up. And, there's wait lists. And then if she talks about it, people will be interfering, trying to find out what doctors she's seeing and calling these doctors and interfering with her care. Get out of here, Rosie. And like I said, she told us when her and Remy had got together, and she mentioned that they're both bisexual. What that had to do with anything, I have no clue. Why that was even relevant. And then someone in the chat asked Remy what he's going to school for. He says he's getting a Bachelor of Arts in Disciplinary Studies. I don't know what that is. I should Google that and look into that. But he doesn't know what career path he's going to take it. He could do something with music with it or something else. I really don't know. I don't know. Then I seen a little bit of this almost 4-hour live. I only see very little of this one, so I'm going to have more for you probably tomorrow on this one. She got sent more stuff to her P.O. box from her followers. I don't get it. These people, should I put up an Amazon wish list? There's a whole lot of stuff I need. And it seems these people just send her this stuff. She act like a toddler when she opened it. Oh. And she got a microphone set. And then she got a star projector. I don't know. That must be something that she's trying to change for Remy, because Remy's apartment had this whole, space theme. He had, the little glow-in-the-dark stars and planets on his ceiling like little kids have, and he had, a stars and a planet rug, comforter set. It's weird. Weird, but he's only 26 years old, too, And, yeah, she again said about how Remy had cleaned the kitchen again and how much he loves doing this stuff. I'm still not buying that either. And then we see Remy on this stream. He comes on, he's wearing these Dr. Pepper pajamas. It's the shirt, the pants, and even the socks. And she's just giggling about this because he says he thought he was Rosie's only doctor. She's, so cringe. And then he starts singing something to her, and it just got real cringy. So, yeah, basically, what I got out of all of this is Rosie loves bossing Remy around, and Remy loves to be bossed around. And Rosie likes to complain about having no insurance. So, and I can't figure out if it's, if she really wants to see a doctor, hoping that she can get on paper something that's wrong with her and say to us, see, I told you I was disabled, see. Or if she's really afraid to go to the doctor because she's afraid the doctor's going to say, there's really nothing wrong with you. So it could go either way. But yeah, at least Rosie's given us a little something to talk about in Girl World. Let me know your thoughts.